House. Tonight, it is Clinton v. Obama in a battle for the bottom, what we will call our unlucky seven. Joining me to evaluate, editor-at-large for the New Republic, Peter Beinart. Stephanie Miller, host of The Stephanie Miller Show, and former Reagan speechwriter and nationally syndicated columnist Tony Blankley. Let's start with number 7. During a campaign stop in Connecticut today, Hillary Clinton fought back tears for the second time in as many months as she was introduced by her former boss.
So welcome home, dear friend. We're so proud of you.
I said I would not tear up. And already we're not exactly on that path.
You may remember Clinton got emotional the day before the New Hampshire primary, a moment many think helped turn that election in her favor. She got hammered for it by Obama advisor and retired General Merrill Tony McPeak over the weekend. He told the LA Times, quote, "Obama doesn't go on television and have crying fits. He isn't discovering his voice at the age of 60. Ouch. The Obama camp quickly distanced themselves from this, and McPeak was forced to retract his remarks. It seems to me, Stephanie Miller, that would be a blunder by Team Obama.
Well, yeah, at first I thought it was, Dan, but now after the second time I have to say there's no crying in baseball and there's no crying in politics. I defended her the first time. My male co-hosts were like, oh, that was so manufactured. I was like, no, it wasn't, and you're making me cry just saying it. But I have to say the second time, Dan, right before a big voting day, I'm a little bit suspicious. I'm just saying, if you're a girl crying to get out a speeding ticket, yes.
But see,
crying to be president, no.
But the point is, Peter, when you're, as Stephanie puts it, a girl, I put that in quotes, you can more freely criticize another, in quotes, girl than a boy criticizing a girl about crying. That doesn't work in politics.
Yeah, and the Obama campaign has also made a big point of the fact that they don't want to get into this petty stuff, that they want to be above it. So it doesn't seem to me like that statement really helped them at all.
Number 6. While stumping for his wife on Thursday, former President Bill Clinton took a swipe at President Bush's No Child Left Behind Act, but he should have checked his wife's record on the legislation before he said this.
This was a train wreck that was not intended. Leave No Child Behind, or No Child Left Behind, was supported by George Bush and Senator Ted Kennedy and everybody in between. Why? Because they didn't talk to enough teachers before they did it.
Ouch! Well, it's a nice shot at Obama backer Ted Kennedy, but unfortunately for the former president, we're going to call this one a misstatement since his own wife fully supported the, quote, train wreck program. In 2001, she offered up this glowing praise in a press release, quote, "Leave No Child Behind Act includes several increases in federal resources for New York City schools. Passing this landmark legislation sends a clear message that all American children deserve a world-class education." Tony, you'd expect the Clintons, of all people, to know, don't do that.
Well, look, obviously this was a straight misstatement and doubtlessly an intentional one. The only question I have is whether Clinton calculates that his message travels further than the correction travels. He's got a pretty big voice. I think this is kind of stupid, though, and it brings up another issue. As opposed to Iraq, some of the issues that she's already known on, this is one where he's now bringing up a new issue that she was, from the Democrats' point of view, wrong on.
What, Tony, you said doubtlessly, you don't think it was an intentional contradiction between Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton?
No, I think he knew that she had voted for the bill.
Really?
That's what I'm saying.
You think he's going on the trail, sort of publicly dissing his wife?
No, I think he assumed that he could take a shot that the teachers in the audience and around the country would appreciate, hearing the Clintons being against a bill they don't like, and hoping that some of them wouldn't know that she voted for it.
They're hoping that no one is on their trail the way that we are. All right, we got our scorecard. Do we have our scorecard up yet? Put it up as to where we are. All right, so we're right now we're at 1 for Obama and 1 for Clinton on the unlucky 7. In terms of, a check is a bad thing, by the way. You don't want a check in this game. Number 5, Senator Obama attempts to take a hard line on immigration during last week's Democratic debate.
There is no doubt that we have to get control of our borders. We can't have hundreds of thousands of people coming over to the United States without us having any idea who they are. I also believe that we do have to crack down on those employers that are taking advantage of the situation.
Ooh, tough talk from Obama. The problem? A little misstatement of his record. In 2004, an ABC News questionnaire asked him directly, should the government crack down on businesses that hire illegal immigrants as a major part of an overhaul? Obama answered, oppose. Peter, are the Democrats now having the immigration flip-flop problems as well?
Well, this one gets a little complicated because it really has to do with what you mean by cracking down. If what you mean is going and rounding up a lot of illegal immigrants and sending them home, I think Obama's against that. If what you mean, however, is what labor unions want, which is forcing employers to have to pay these people the prevailing wage, I think that's probably something Obama supports.
So you really think, Peter, there's some ambiguity here as to whether there's an inconsistency between Obama's previous statement and his current statement?
I actually do, because cracking down can mean a whole range of different things, some of which I think all Democrats would probably support, like some kind of better, more tamper-proof ID system, and some of which, like a big roundup showing up in the middle of the night at the plant gates, which all of them would oppose.
Tony, what do you think?
If I can make a different point, I think if I were a Democratic candidate for president, I would not want to talk about the immigration issue at all, because there's no winning position, whether honest or dishonest, that they can take. Anything that they say is going to cut against either some potential Hispanic vote or some potential, particularly in the general election, vote. So they should just keep off this issue, whether they're lying or telling the truth.
Tony, there's no way they're going to be able to ultimately avoid it. I mean, you can guarantee that in the general election, the Republicans are going to make this a big issue.
Yeah, well, I would not jump in any earlier than I have to. And the truth is that Washington politicians have been keeping away from this issue for years until Bush brought it up a couple of years ago. Yeah. And it's a good reason, because it's something that's going to explode in everybody's hands.
Well, look at what happened to John McCain. I mean, yes. John McCain is the ultimate example of having it explode in your hands.
And in Bush's hands.
Well, I mean, at least McCain tried to do a good thing, tries to bring people together to create legislation, and now when I say
we could debate the goodness of it.
No, I just mean a good thing in trying to make a bipartisan bill. And now the bottom line is, there is no bipartisanship on immigration. That's the bottom line.
I mean, both Hillary and Obama in the debate some weeks ago both made a hash of trying to talk about it.
Number 4, Hillary Clinton tries to explain why she voted against an amendment offered up by fellow Democratic Senator Carl Levin